Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's instructional policy meeting. First, we're going to have a look at the minutes, if you wouldn't mind. And if anybody has any comments or questions, if not, we will approve those minutes. Anybody? Bueller? No? Okay. Moving on.
No questions.
All right, then I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Kaver for Business Affairs.
Okay, great. Thank you. Actually, we can pull back up the same document we just had up. Never mind. Hold on one second. Give me a second to put this back in. The agenda that was on, I'm just trying to make sure that it is showing. So let me see if the click share will work. As it should show, it is not picking up. Give me 1 second. A little bit of a technical difficulty. It's connecting. All right, let's try that again. Are we up now? Perfect, thank you. So we have a few items to go over for business affairs. So the first one is an item that I want to bring to your attention to make sure that you are aware that there's a service agreement where we want to increase the dollar amount of an item that has already been approved previously. It has to do with Project Lead the Way and professional development from one of the consultants that comes and does professional development for our college and career academy teachers that are teaching Project Lead the Way. And given that some items, some changes just with staffing and things like that, we have to continuously have professional development in this area. So again, this is just going to be an adjustment to increase the amount for about $5,000, $5,712. So you will see that item on the next agenda, and it is through the funded through Perkins. The next item that I want to bring to your attention has to do with expanded learning for summer school this summer. And we're recommending a program through Reading Horizons that is actually an intervention program. And so this proposal is for the professional development that will be needed for those teachers that are teaching summer school so that they can be trained on how to use the program. And that one is going to be presented under ESSER funding because it is expanded learning for the summer school. And then the third item that we wanted to bring to the attention is a program called School Joy, which has already been approved previously. And this item is, again, an increase that we are requesting. School Joy is the program that's being utilized for the expanded learning, all of the programming. It's a way for families to get messaging and get information and to sign up for expanded learning. And so there's some additional features that come with the program that we weren't utilizing, that weren't in our original proposal. And so this will allow us to actually have something such as SMS text messages to families and things as reminders for expanded learning or summer school opportunities. So that's why there's an increase on this item. And it is also going to be under ESSER. Do you have any questions about those three items? Okay, great. So today's agenda, what we're going to do next is that there's been some research done and some information where we have had Buchtel CLC as a conversation a few times here at Instructional Policy. So we have the schools team here to present to us today that we finally taken everything into consideration and we're ready to make our decision on where we want to go next with Buchtel CLC. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Rachel Tecca, the Chief of Schools Assistant Superintendent.
Thank you, Dr. Kaver. So we have a short slide presentation for you, Ms. McKittrick, that we would like to go over. It starts with really just, are you able to see it?
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it.
Okay, good.
it's not on there. We'll make sure that you get it.
Okay, we're going to start the slideshow. Thank you. So we are here to provide you with an update on our Buchtel Community Learning Center and make a recommendation with some of the questions that have come up during the board meetings this year. I wanted to start with just sharing with you the demographics around Buchtel, and that shows that, if you hit that slide, Dr. Kaver. Just a little bit of the history of where Buchtel is located, that it has been a new tech specialty school. It has 100% of our students are economically disadvantaged, with 26% of our students with disabilities. So just making sure that we're all well aware of what the demographic makeup is of Buchtel CLC. There's some history on the next slide that really talks about what New Tech Network is. So when New Tech started as a partner with us at Buchtel back in 2011, it really focused on the first 3 bullets, right? It was at a time where we didn't have one-to-one technology across our districts. They were the first school that were, each student had its own device, minus the STEM schools. They worked a lot on interdisciplinary and project-based learning, and they really developed some strong partnerships with stakeholders to move the outcomes for students. What New Tech has transitioned into is more those last 4 bullets, really trying to build kind of a whole turnaround model for schools with really supportive and inclusive cultures, making sure we're looking at equitable instructional practices, making sure that purposeful assessments are happening day in and day out, and then a college and career readiness component. So it's morphed. The New Tech actual product has morphed since its inception to what it is today. But I wanted to make sure the Instructional Policy Board Committee knew a little bit more about New Tech. Here's our history with New Tech. We started in 2011. Buchtel was placed in priority status. At the time, that meant that Buchtel fell into the lowest, I'm not going to quote me, this may be wrong, 10% of schools in the state on school achievement results. Because of that priority status, each school that fell into priority status had to select an instructional model, and the Buchtel community picked New Tech. They implemented for about 3 or 4 years, had some decent results, but by 2016, it really started to decrease in its effectiveness with change in leadership, change in staff. The implementation waned. In 2021, they tried to hold a reboot, and I think that's part of what this board was involved in, is does New Tech need to stay at Buchtel, or were we looking at another instructional model? But as we sit today, we still continue to have decrease in our implementation of those New Tech strategies across Buchtel as our current practice stands. The other competing kind of transformational component was the College and Career Academies of Akron. And so Buchtel implemented their academies along with the rest of the district when we went district-wide with those initiatives. In 2018, we started our freshman academies at Buchtel. And then we have kind of implemented throughout the last 5 years really well. Buchtel does an outstanding job with their implementation of college and career academies. We're very fortunate to have some outstanding partnerships there with our SUMA partnership. We renewed our Huntington partnership a couple weeks ago, which was outstanding, and we will be announcing our sister university. Well, it was slated in the next month or so, but the partner would like to push us off till school starts in the fall. I know, but it's definitely a partnership that we're very excited about, and they're secured and starting to do some of the work. But the big announcement will be later this school year. No hints, Ms. McKittrick, but I think you'll be excited. So just as a reminder, here are the academies that Buchtel currently offers. They have their freshman academy, and then the 2 named partner academies with SUMA Health, Academy of Leadership and Innovation. You see the pathways that fall under that. We're really excited at some of the outcomes we're getting in each of those pathways with industry credentials earned, college credits, and opportunities for student internship. And then in Huntington Academy of Global Industry and Design, you see those 3 pathways that fall under that. I would be remiss if I didn't show some of the outstanding work that is really happening within our Buchtel Academies and Pathways. We have a lot of great partnerships and community partners who are investing their time and talent with our young people at Buchtel. Some of the pictures you see are, our students in masonry actually went and worked with the city on a partnership to build a park. You have our students that are really learning hands-on experiences with SUMA and EMT opportunities. I don't know, they're just, every time we see highlights of the work happening there, it's pretty impressive. So here's a little bit of a crosswalk. So you can see that there is quite a bit of overlap. When we think about what New Tech offers and what College and Career Academies offers, there is very much an overlap in services. They may be different or called different things, but they're very similar in the outcomes that we're trying to get for our young people. So for College and Career Academies, we use Google Classroom and Workspace. In New Tech, it's Echo. We have training that you can see is similar. We have alternative practices with project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, a lot of overlap there, also the rigor and the college and career connection. So I think part of the struggle at Buchtel has been kind of asking them to do both, asking them. Okay, well, good. I hope so, too. But you see that there's just a lot of overlap, and when we're asking teachers and staff at Buchtel to implement, it's kind of double duty for them right now. So, I included some data points so you're aware of the graduation rates at Buchtel. And you can see that they've had a lot of steady improvements, right? We had a little bit of drop in 2021, but a nice increase in 2022. So the implementation of College and Career Academies is having some real positive impact on outcomes for students. So our recommendation is to continue to deepen the implementation of College and Career Academies and not renew our partnership with New Tech for next year.
I think it's difficult for one school to have sort of an isolated model because it's difficult to have the fidelity when you have teachers maybe move among different schools in the district to always know what the New Tech. So I think this will maintain a continuity that we haven't seen before. So it makes sense to me to make it a College and Career Academy model instead of the New Tech. So anyway.
We appreciate that, absolutely. So we will be working on a transition and a communication plan, making sure all of our staff are on board and knowledgeable about how this is going to look for them, the training and support to move to Google Classroom. And I'll be upfront and honest, they really do like the Echo program component. That's the biggest piece of the New Tech model that they have embraced. So I think that's going to be our biggest lift in making this transition for them, but we have a plan to support them in that implementation. And we're going to continue to deepen that inquiry-based learning component that we believe is critical to, the outcomes we want for our kids. Then we'll have a plan for our scholars and our families, but overall I think that we've front-loaded enough of this information that this isn't going to be something that's going to upset anybody, and we'll make a nice seamless transition into that College and Career Academy model for 23-24. Any questions?
No questions, but I'm glad it's settled. It's been a long time coming, right? So it's nice to have a decision and move forward to bring it around, right? So
Absolutely.
That's good.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tecca. So yes, I think we'll all be very happy to have taken the time to do the research to really come up with a good plan and determine how to move forward for that community. So we are planning to proceed with the next steps after the meeting today. I will now move on to our updates, as they are here as always, but I'll just bring them up really quickly to look at those. And generally, we don't read the updates to everybody, so I won't do that, but you can see some, we have some highlights here from the robotics team and the Air Force from Buchtel. And then some fifth grade information from Miller South expos that were going on there. And then our first grade essential experience at the Akron Zoo, as well as seventh graders from Litchfield. So, oh, actually she has more, sorry. And then some more information from Litchfield as well. So we have quite, I mean, there are 9 pages of information, Garfield, North, just kind of showing everything as we are in the spring, and lots of events and things start going on where we have our presentations of learning, as well as some experiences happening. So lots of information to be shared and to show you all. And then the next one is Family Resource Center. Hopefully we have an announcement coming soon. We've been working. We have our 4 FRCs already. And of course, we just kind of show what has been happening, the engagement activities you can see there. But we are definitely looking at opening another FRC in the Ella area in the very near future. We believe that it may be located at higher CLC, but we are in the final steps of the decision making there. So that will be exciting as we continue to build on that partnership with United Way so that we can have resources for our families. We also have the Stay in the Game update on attendance and our initiative with the Cleveland Browns. So there was a meeting last week, and so we'll pretty soon get the outcome of where we are with that campaign from Stay in the Game. And then our final one is an update from Teaching and Learning. And again, just information about what's been going on. We do have, are there the Teachers of the Year? This is the David James Award recipient from Glover, Brianna Miller. And then the Teacher of the Year banquet is coming up on May 18th. It's hard to believe it's April already. And so, so Teaching and Learning is definitely in the process of planning for that big event at the Knight Center. And then there are just some other updates in here from the various departments as to what they're doing lately in those departments that are under Teaching and Learning. So that was our final update for today. I will stop now to see if there are any questions, Ms. McKittrick, or if there's anything that the team wants to add today. Okay. All right, great. Yeah, sometimes we have longer meetings, sometimes they're short. So, but I appreciate your time today. Like I said, the main goal is to kind of get that final decision out there about Buchtel CLC, and the team is ready to proceed. Okay. Well, I thank everyone for their time today, and this will conclude our instructional policy meeting for April 3rd. Thank you.